I'm going to review it.
And then you watch it again, you're like, actually, there's not much to talk about here. So, yeah. It can go both ways. You can love an episode but then hate it when you review it. So, yeah, it's an interesting process to say the least.
Any other questions?
There's one over there and there's
over
one
there.
I just want to ask, when you decided to do this form of art, were you doing like traditional art before and you weren't interested in it and decided to do this anime, isn't it?
When I studied contemporary fine art and specialised in surrealism when I studied at art school, and it was during that time I was introduced to digital art, didn't really find it all that interesting, but just one thing led to another. I thought, right, I've finished art school, what do I want to do? Do I want to go into this full time? Or do I want to go more into illustration and concept art and stuff like that? And it kind of just, the traditional art is a very difficult market to get into because it's obviously, with digital, it's a lot easier, you're a bit more widespread because of the internet, it can just be shared all over the place. You don't have to do much footwork there, other people usually kind of do it for you. So it's a lot, I find it a lot easier, but I still enjoy traditional art more, if that makes sense.
Yes, because I find like with a lot of kids, there's a push for them to do more traditional art, but they're more interested in this kind of art.
Yes.
And the schools don't really sort of push them towards this at all. You see?
Yeah, for me it's important to have a good balance between the two, traditional and digital. Don't replace one with the other. Like you can't replace traditional, don't stop drawing on a bit of paper and replace it with a graphics tablet. You will always need to have the skills of traditional art to back you up. Because what happens if you wake up in the morning and, like, say you've got no power and you're like, oh my god, I can't draw. Well, you can, just pick up a pen and paper. So, yeah, because that happened to me earlier this year. My setup that I had before the one that I've got now completely stopped working. And when you've got that as your source of income, you can either panic and cry, which I did, or you know, that's why it's important to have a balance and not just completely rely on technology all the time, because technology is going to fail you at some point, but a sketch pad and a pencil will never fail you. So, you know, so any more questions from anybody? Yes?
You're good. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, generally, making your videos, how long is the actual process in coming up with something to actually review, writing the script, and then editing it all to make? How long does that usually take you?
It can vary, it depends on what it is you're reviewing. Like, say, when I reviewed A Pressure Girls 3, I wrote the script, edited the video, and uploaded it within 2 days. But another thing, say an episode, it can take you a week. It can go up and down. It just depends on how far into it you want to go. Or how long the video is going to be. But even sometimes a short video can take longer because you have to edit it down a lot more than a longer video. So with a longer one, you have a bit more leg room. So to be honest, it varies from video to video for me. Sometimes I can have 2, 3, 4 videos released in a month. Another month I might only have 1. So it just really depends what I'm talking about, what I'm discussing, or if it's a collab. If it's a collaboration with someone else, the collaboration I did with KP took a year. Yeah, but that was just because of schedule problems really, not the actual video itself. So yeah, it just depends on if it's just me talking over stuff, or if I have to make new artwork for it, then it will take a little bit longer. So it just honestly depends. Every single video is different in its process. Really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that answers my question.
Yes. Anyone else? Any more questions? Yes? No?
Anyone? Yes, no, stand you. No? I don't think that's it. You got a question?
Yes.
Do you prefer digital art to pencil art?
I love them both the same. I mean, I went to art school for 5 years and specialised in traditional surrealism, so I was like painting every day. But I love digital art as well. But to me, there's not that much difference between traditional and digital. Well, there is obviously. But you know what I mean? Like the only difference to me between traditional and digital art is that digital is quicker, it cuts out all the mess, but the process mentally and some of the practicalities are kind of the same. So, I love them both equally, to be honest, because art is art, so yeah. I'm not good at this, have you noticed?
Yeah, I had a question. You were talking about copyright things because there's so much media all over the place. And I was wondering, what are the kind of rules? Do you have to change the texture? Do you have to change it from making a photographic image to making a more painted image in Photoshop or whatever? Or cropping it? Or what are the sort of rules nowadays? Because it seems like everything's going on.
These days, the copyright law, it changes on a daily basis. Sometimes every minute something changes, and it's so difficult to keep up with it. So, with video editing, if you're using it.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, who are your main inspirations for making your videos or your reviews and stuff?
So many influences. A lot of them aren't actually reviewers and analysts. A lot of them are Let's Players. So are people that talk about video games in more detail. I talk about more animation really, because that's where my passion is, not really video games, even though I worked in the video game industry for a bit. Anyway, biggest influence visual-wise anyway is probably Brony, but the actual writing style's kind of been influenced by, I don't know, Silver Quill, a little bit Dr. Wolf. I was very heavily influenced in energy anyway by a lot of the people on Channel Awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Doug Walker and Nostalgia Critic obviously, or Obscurus Luca, or one of my favourite reviewers ever, which a lot of you might not know. Some of you might, Diamanda Hagen.
Yeah.
Some of you might know her. Her content is not to everyone's taste, but her review style and writing style and her energy was really inspiring to me, and I just really loved how she was able to really get really deep into it, but still able to be funny and entertaining, but at the same time have a good balance between the two and not turning it into a sketch show.
Yeah.
Because that's a problem that a lot of analysts and reviewers have. They kind of fall into the trap of this is for entertaining other people, which it is, but it's also you're discussing something subjectively and saying why it's so awesome and why it needs more attention. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's hope that answered the question.
Yeah.
We have another question all the way over here.